Another foul ball. So still a 1-2 count. Beautiful evening for a baseball game tonight. Really no wind at all. You see out there the palm trees just lightly blowing. A little bit of sunshine to start this game off. Here comes the 1-2 from Studstill. And that is smacked out into right field. Right there for it is Joe Kinker. So one down here in the top of the first inning. Let's take a look at FGCU defensively. So on the mound is Studstill. Then in the infield, going around from first base, Elijah Eusebio, the junior, at first. Second baseman, Richie Garcia. At shortstop, Christian Prophet. At third base, Jay Hayes. And then in the outfield, we've got Keith Stevens, Mark Coffers out in center field. And then Joe Kinker, who just made that catch out in right. So here is Tevin Simonet, senior left fielder. Just missed, and so that'll make it a 1-0 count. Simonet comes into this one with a .261 batting average. He's making his 24th start of the season, 25th game played. He's got 20 runs batted in. It's good to be tied for third on the team, along with Maddox Houghton. Fouls that one off. So 1-1 is the count. One down here. Bases are empty. Just got started here at Swanson Stadium. The FGCU Eagles hosting the LIPSCOMB Bisons from the Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. It's a private college. This one is popped up, and the first baseman, Eusebio, is there to make the catch. So great start here for Mason Studstill. 2 batters up, 2 batters down here in the top of the first inning. And that'll bring up Zeke Dodson, the senior third baseman. Definitely one of the better hitters on this team, coming into this game with a .337 batting average, making his 25th start in 25 games. Tied for the lead for his team in home runs with 3. He's got 16 runs batted in. And he grounds this one to the third baseman, Hayes. And a perfect throw by Hayes over to first to Eusebio, and that'll retire the top of the first inning. So the Bisons go down 1-2-3, an excellent start for Mason Studstill. Coming up for FGCU, we'll see Mark Coffers, Alex Brate, and Jay Hayes. We'll come right back here from Swanson Stadium. Your score, Eagles, nothing. Bisons, nothing. Welcome back to Swanson Stadium. We're looking at a scoreless game here between the Florida Gulf Coast University Eagles and the LIPSCOMB Bisons. Eagles getting their first at-bats here. Mark Coffers, the center fielder, is going to lead us off, followed by the catcher, Alex Brate. Then the third baseman, Jay Hayes. At the cleanup spot, Cole Gilmore. At DH, batting fifth, right fielder, Joe Kinker. Batting sixth, left fielder, Keith Stevens. Batting seventh, the second baseman, Richie Garcia. Batting eighth, the first baseman, Elijah Eusebio. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Christian Prophet. So Coffers leading off for the Eagles here. He takes a strike there. So that'll make the count 1-1. On the mound for Lipscomb is Chris Kachmar. He's a senior, transferred a couple years ago from Palm Beach State College in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. That is grounded over to third. Zeke Dodson makes the throw over to first, and that'll be the first out of the bottom of the first inning. Let's take a look at the Bisons defensively. At pitcher, Chris Kachmar, and then in the infield, at first base, Cade Sorrells, second baseman, Haddon Adams. At short, Brian Moore. Zeke Dodson, who just made that throw there to first, the third baseman. At catcher, Chaz Bertolani. Then in the outfield, Tevin Simonette. Maddox Houghton out in center field, and Ty Jones, the freshman, out in right field. Here's Alex Brait, the junior catcher for FGCU. Takes the first pitch high. Kachmar, the right-hander, coming into this one, 4-2. This is his 8th start of the season. Has a 4-2 record, 4.62 earned run average. Kachmar, he led his team in innings pitched last year with 65, and also led the team with 66 strikeouts. He struggled with consistency, though, especially in the earned run average category. And he falls behind Brait here, 2-0. Brait with some incredible numbers this season. 352 is his batting average. He's making his 27th appearance, 28th start. And this is a high pop-up. The shortstop, Brian Moore, camping under it and putting it away. 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. Still no score between FGCU and Lipscomb. So far the pitching has been on point, although it is still early. That'll bring up Jay Hayes, the senior third baseman. Hayes has reached base in 16 straight games, looking to make it 17 tonight. First pitch swinging for Hayes. He fouls it back. The catcher Bertolani will try to chase it down, and he makes the catch sliding down. So that'll end the inning. Eagles go down 1-2-3. Jay Hayes retired on 1 pitch, pops it up into foul territory. So we will have a scoreless game heading into the top of the second inning. Coming up next for Lipscomb, you will see Chris Bachelor, the designated hitter, Cade Sorrells, the first baseman, and Maddox Houghton, the center fielder. We'll come right back here from Swanson Stadium. Welcome back to Swanson Stadium. We've got a pair of donuts on the scoreboard after the first inning, now here in the top of the second. Great pitching so far on both sides to start off this game. Both offenses went down 1-2-3. Mason Studstill on the mound for the Eagles, the staff ace. And he will face the cleanup batter for Lipscomb, the designated hitter Chris Bachelor, the sophomore. Coming into this one with a 356 average. He's got a couple home runs, 18 RBI. Swing and a miss on that pitch, so Studstill gets ahead 0-1. And that was a big thing for Studstill in the top of the first inning, he was able to get ahead of every batter that he faced. See if he continues the success here. That's tapped foul. No balls, 2 strikes. So Bachelor, he's also a catcher, but in the designated hitter spot today. Started 23 games last year. He's already got 25 under his belt this season. The 0-2 is high, so that'll make it 1-2 now to Bachelor. Just a sophomore, but already showing a lot of poise at the plate. 32 hits and 90 at-bats. Again, that's good for an average of .356. Definitely one of the more feared hitters in the ASUN Conference. Looked like a strike to me, but the ump calls that one a ball. So from 0-2, 2-2. The crowd wanted that one. That one's inside. So nice patience here by Chris Bachelor. Working his way to have the count full. 3-2. Nobody on base. He's the leadoff hitter here in the top of the second. Ball 4. Stud still misses out wide, so free pass here for Bachelor. The sophomore walks. So here's Cade Sorrells, the senior first baseman. He's making his 27th appearance in as many starts. He leads the team with 30 runs batted in. And if he could place this ball well enough, he might have 31. Stud still now from the stretch. Kicks and deals. First pitch swinging, and that is fouled off. No balls and a strike. So again, Stud still trying to get ahead of batters here. So far has been successful at that. He just allowed his first base runner of the game by walking Chris Bachelor. Sorrells takes it outside, so that'll even up the count to 1-1. Sorrells a huge improvement in his batting average from this point in the season to last year. He hit .228 last year. Again, that average now up to 300. Definitely improved some mechanics there. He's going for the bunt. Comes up with nothing. 1-2. He was a stud coming out of high school, Cade Sorrells. He was the 22nd ranked high school first baseman in the whole country by perfect game. Swing and a miss, though. And that's strike 3. So 1 down here in the top of the second inning. We have Bachelor on first base. It's the first strikeout of the game for Studstill. Studstill is a strikeout pitcher, too. Definitely expect to see more of those. Again, he has 57 strikeouts and 43 in the third innings of work this season. Here's Maddox Houghton. Houghton, the sophomore center fielder, making his 28th appearance, 28th start overall. A .370 average. 20 runs batted in. Good for being tied for third on this squad. Looking at an 0-1 count. Stud still working from the stretch here. That one's high. Evens it up to 1-1. part of that 2018 ASUN all-freshman team. Building on that this year with another solid season. First pickoff attempt of the game by Studstill. Bachelor was able to slide back in time. We're still looking for our first hit here in the ball game. Bachelor reached on a walk. Studstill had him 0-2. He was able to work that count back to 3-2. And took ball 4 outside. That is just inside and very small strike zone here tonight. Home plate umpire Randy Olhausen. The first base umpire Luke Hamilton, and over at third, John Bennett. Here comes the 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Big cut at that one by Houghton. Houghton, he comes from a family of athletes. His grandmother actually played basketball at Amherst College. That is popped up. Eusebio's going to give it chase over at first base, but it's going to be out of reach. Foul ball. Still 2-2. And this Maddox Houghton guy, he's a smart guy. I mean, very smart. U of Georgia Merit Scholar, Furman U Scholar. And then this was pretty interesting, I found out about him too. He's won the Advanced World Literature Award. So he can write and play baseball. Throw over to first from Studstill. Bachelor didn't even have to slide that time, though. He's safe. The count is 2-2. 1 down here in the top of the second inning. Still looking for our first run of the game, our first hit as well. That pitch is high, so another full count here. Studstill already over 20 pitches. His last start, he went 8 innings, only gave up a run on 4 hits, struck out 7 against Towson last Friday. Big sweep for FGCU here at Swanson Stadium. Treated the fans to a 20-run game on Sunday. 2 grand slams. Bachelor's going from first, and that is a fly ball out to left field, still carrying, and that is gone. Home run. Houghton with the 2-run shot off Studstill. The crowd surprised to see that one. Bachelor will score. LIPSCOMB 2, Eagles nothing. So our first hit of this ball game is a shot over the left field wall. Keith Stevens gave it chase out there, but helplessly watched it carry over the wall. So here we are, 2-0 Bisons over the Eagles. The bases are empty once again. And that'll bring up Ty Jones, the freshman right fielder. The true freshman. He's a 3-time region champ at Ringgold High School in Georgia. Swings at the first pitch, and this is fouled back. People laughing in here as Alex Brate went back there to try to make that catch. Didn't have a shot at that one, though. But it'll count as a strike. So 0-1 here, 1 down. Ty Jones making his 12th start of the season, his 16th appearance overall. He's got 9 hits on the season and 31 at-bats. One of those hits was a home run. He's driven in 7. And another fly ball. This time out to right field. Kinker there to make the catch. 2 outs here, and the bases are empty. Here comes Brian Moore, the junior shortstop. Brian Moore struggling with consistency this season. He's batting just 186, making his 27th appearance of 2019, his 23rd start. We're looking at 13 hits and 70 plate appearances. 9 runs batted in and a home run. Cut and a miss at that one. No balls and a strike. Moore, he was coming over from Gordon State College in his hometown of Alpharetta, Georgia. Fouls that one back. Got a couple flinches here in the press box. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 down here, base is empty. The Bisons with a 2-0 lead over FGCU. Just scored those 2 runs this inning after Houghton homered out to left field. It was a 2-run shot. Bachelor scored after taking a walk. Strike 3. Ring him up. Brian Moore goes down looking. So 1 hit, 2 runs scored. No errors. Nobody left on base. As we head to the bottom of the 2nd inning, the Bisons lead 2-0 over the Eagles here at Swanson Stadium. When we come back, you will see Cole Gilmore, Joe Kinker, and Keith Stevens. Bottom of the 2nd inning, and the Eagles are down 2-0 to the LIPSCOMB Bisons. Maddox Houghton with a 2-run shot in the top of the 2nd. So we'll see Cole Gilmore, Joe Kinker, and Keith Stevens here for FGCU. Gilmore, the junior DH, leading this one off, making his 27th start, his 28th appearance overall. Comes in with a .307 batting average. 27 hits on the year, a couple home runs, and 23 runs batted in. Starts off 1-0 in the count. Chris Kachmar on the mound for the Bisons. Set down the Eagles, 1-2-3. And even got Jay Hayes to get out on a pop foul on 1 pitch. And there's another fly ball. Left fielder Simonet will try to run it down, but it goes out of his reach. 2-1. Gilmore, we all know he can hit. Last year, 2nd team all-conference. It's a transfer to FGCU from Indian River State. Righty on righty battle here. Here's the 2-1. That's outside. And it's that count that every hitter loves to have. 3 balls and 1 strike. And that's the first hit of the game for FGCU as Gilmore grounds that one up the middle. into center field for the base knock. As I said, that 3-1 count, the pitcher's got to put it somewhere in the strike zone or face a walk, and so that was right on the silver plate there for Gilmore. He's able to capitalize. The Eagles have their first base runner of this game. That'll bring up Joe Kinker, the right fielder, the freshman. An extremely impressive freshman, I might add. Kachmar now working from the stretch. Delivers just low. Again, this could be the story of the night for the pitchers. A very small strike zone that we're working with here with home plate umpire Randy Olhausen. He'll call that one a strike, though, so it's 1-1. Kinker. I mean, we could talk all day about this guy. He's a true freshman. 409 batting average. 38 hits, 25 driven in, 5 home runs. It's another strike there to his name, though, so 1-2. Kinker, he is a product of Northport, Venice High School. Northport, now a baseball city after getting the Atlanta Braves spring training stadium down there. 2-2. He's reached base in 24 straight games. It's the longest streak on the team. Jay Hayes in second. That ball just outside, so we got a full count here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Gilmore's on first. He singled right before this. No outs. FGCU trailing 2-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. And that is lined out into left field. An easy catch for Tevin Simonet out there in left. So Gilmore stays put at first. Solid contact there for Kinker, but he's walking back to the dugout there. 0 for 1 now. So that'll bring up Keith Stevens, the senior left fielder, digging in for the first time. He's making his 22nd start in as many games played. Stevens with a .273 average. 21 hits to his name, a home run, 9 runs batted in. Takes that one high. 1 ball, no strikes. Kachmar now getting close to 20 pitches here for the Bisons. Popped up. Nobody's going to get that one. 1-1. This is the first season that Keith Stevens is seeing significant playing time. Last year was more of a role player. This pitch gets to the backstop. Gilmore is going to advance to second base safely. So now the Eagles, for the first time tonight, have a runner in scoring position. Trying to get on the board here. Still down 2-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. We'll score that one as a wild pitch for Kachmar. The 2-1 is high, so make it 3-1. And that man on second base, Gilmore, he had himself a 3-1 count earlier this inning. Was able to capitalize. Grounded it right up the middle. Into the outfield. It was good enough for a single. Then just advanced on that wild pitch. Here's the 3-1 to Stevens. He takes ball 4.
So the Eagles now with 2 runners on, 1 out. And that'll bring up Richie Garcia, the junior second baseman, making his 28th start, as many appearances. He's been a staple of this FGCU offense. The .291 batting average, 17 hits to his name and 103 plate appearances. Excuse me, 30 hits and 103 plate appearances. "19 runs batted into his name. He's looking for 20 here. If he gets a single, he could get it. Big swing and a miss there from Garcia. That'll make it 0-1. Garcia last year, first team All-A-Sun. He's definitely one of the most feared hitters in this conference. From the stretch, Kachmar. That is grounded over to the third baseman, Dodson. That is a double play, and that'll end the inning. So the Eagles were threatening, but Richie Garcia, you don't expect to see that from him. He grounds into the double play, and that'll end the inning. So the score is still Bisons 2, Eagles nothing here at Swanson Stadium. Top of the third inning, and the Bisons looking to build on their 2-0 lead over FGCU here at Swanson Stadium. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Joe Petrello, filling in here on my first FGCU Eagles broadcast. It's a pleasure to be bringing this game from here at Swanson Stadium to you at home. So we're going to lead off here with Chaz Bertolani, the Bison's catcher. The freshman takes strike 1 low. Making his 7th start of the year and his 12th appearance overall. With the 20 at-bats he's had, he's been able to get 5 hits, scored 4 runs, drive in a pair as well. Mason Studstill on the mound for the FGCU Eagles. Missed there, so it's 1-1. Bertolani follows that one back. He's listed as a utility player on the LIPSCOMB website. He had some pretty good schools looking at him out of high school. Ohio State, Columbia, and Cornell. That's tapped on the ground over to the shortstop, Prophet. And the sure fielding Prophet able to make the throw over to first base in time. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the third inning. So we're back to the top of the order for the Bisons. Here is Haddon Adams. Adams with a fly out to right field in his last plate appearance back in the top of the first inning. Takes a hack at the first pitch and fouls it off. No balls and a strike. Base is empty. 2-0 Bisons over the Eagles here in the top of the third. 1 out and an 0-1 count on Adams. Takes a look at strike 2. Studstill now with 37 pitches on the game. He is known to be a workhorse for this FGCU squad, though. Usually throws 100 pitches plus, or usually somewhere around there. Breaking ball gets away. Adams wasn't chasing, so it's 1-2. So far, just one hit apiece for both teams, but the Bisons made their hit count. It was a 2-run shot last inning. Another foul, so the count will stay 1-2. Besides that home run, a slow start for Lipscomb offensively overall, 1 for 8 with a walk and 2 strikeouts. That's grounded over to second. Richie Garcia, the throw to Eusebio. 2 outs. So Adams falls to 0 for 2. That'll bring up the senior left fielder, Tevin Simonette. Simonette popped up to first in his first appearance. It was a 1-2-3 inning for Studstill back in the top of the first. This is something that we haven't seen too much of. Studstill missing on the first pitch, so it's 1-0. He falls behind to Simonette. Simonette thought about it. He let it go, though, for a ball. So 2 balls, no strikes. And Simonette, he is actually a native of Freeport, the Bahamas. Now playing college baseball in the States, in the Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. There's a strike. Excellent pitch there by Studstill. 2-1. Simonette actually a 3-time member of the Bahamas national team. So he plays college ball and a little bit of national ball as well. Will they count it? Yes, says the first base umpire, Luke Hamilton. 2-2. Base is empty, 2 outs, a 2-2 count for Mason Studstill, working on Tevin Simonette. From the windup, kicks and deals. Strike 3. He rings him up. Studstill with his 3rd strikeout of the game, and that'll retire the side. The Bisons go down 1-2-3. So the score remains 2-0. Lipscomb over FGCU. When we come back, for the first time, you'll see Eusebio, Profit, and Coffers. We're coming back here from Swanson Stadium momentarily. Bottom of the 3rd inning, and the Eagles trying to get on the board here. They're down 2-0 against the Lipscomb Bisons. Elijah Eusebio is going to lead this inning off. then to Christian Prophet, and then we get back to the top of the order. Mark Coffers coming up third. So Eusebio, the junior first baseman, digs in here for the first time tonight. He's making his 6th start, his 16th appearance, batting .258. 8 hits and 31 plate appearances. Here's 32, takes strike one. Eusebio, he hit a grand slam last Sunday along with Jay Hayes, and that was the first time in program history that the Eagles had ever had 2 players hit a grand slam together in a game. 1-1 now the count. Eusebio calls time. Chris Katchmar still on the mound for Lipscomb, and he's been solid so far through 2 innings of work. Giving up a hit and a walk. No runs yet, though. Big cut and a miss there by Eusebio. 1-2. Katchmar now getting close to 30 pitches. Here comes 28. Thought about it. That'll count as a ball. So 2-2. Good patience there by Eusebio. This is the first season that Eusebio's actually gotten a run, a home run, and an RBI. So that shows that he's seen a significant amount more of playing time this year than last. Taps that one foul up the third base line. Count will stay put. Talk about our head coaches here. Dave Tollett for the Eagles, 4-time ASUN Coach of the Year. Could possibly make it 5 this year. He's done a phenomenal job. For Lipscomb, Jeff Forehand. He is one of the most respected head coaches in the ASUN as well. It's a fly ball into right field. Ty Jones has to fight the sun. Barely had to move for that one, and he puts it away. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of inning number 3 for Chris Katchmar and the Lipscomb Bisons. And for the first time tonight, here is Christian Prophet, the sophomore shortstop. Recently, Eric Gonzalez has seen a lot more playing time in his spot. Takes a look at strike one. Prophet, he is a product of right here in Southwest Florida from Cape Coral. Went to Ida Baker High School. Last year's ASUN Freshman of the Year. 1-1 now the count. Prophet, though, struggling a bit this year. He's making his 26th appearance, his 21st start. His batting average just .161. Hitting below that Mendoza line. 10 hits and 62 at bats. Looking for his first home run of this season. Good patience there by Prophet. Now he's ahead in the count 2-1. If you saw Prophet's play at short in the last inning, made an excellent throw. He's a sure-handed glove over at short. Another fly ball into right field. And again, Ty Jones able to make the catch in the sun. That's the sunniest spot of the field right now, out there in right. But Jones has handled it well. So 2 up, 2 down here for the Eagles in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And we are back to the top of the order. Here is Barron Collier High School alum, Mark Coffers, the center fielder. So far we've had Eusebio fly out to right and Prophet fly out to right. See what Coffers can do here. Takes a look at strike one. The bases are empty. There are 2 outs. Bison still up 2-0 over the Eagles. Kachmar showing great composure here. Beautiful pitch on the outside black. No balls, 2 strikes. Fouls that one off. 0-2. So Coffers, he scored against USF on Tuesday in the first inning. That made it 4 straight games for FGCU scoring in the first inning. Didn't happen tonight, though. They're still looking for their first run of the game, and we are in the bottom of the third. Coffers, though, battling here with an 0-2 count, just fouled off another pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Coffers goes down swinging. So the Eagles go down 1-2-3. Kachmar is dealing here through 3 innings. His Bison's up 2-0 over FGCU at Swanson Stadium. When we come back, we'll see Dodson, Bachelor, and Sorrells. Welcome back. We're in the top of the 4th inning. This game has moved along fairly quickly so far. The Bisons leading the Eagles 2-0 here at Swanson Stadium. Zeke Dodson, the senior third baseman, will lead off. Mason Studstill still on the mound for the Eagles. He's pitched a wonderful game so far besides a 2-run home run that he gave up. Gets a strike here on Dodson. Dodson grounded out to third his last time up. That pitch is in the dirt, so even count here, 1-1. Dodson has been the third baseman for Lipscomb since his freshman year in 2016. He was an ASUN all-freshman team member. And a nice piece of hitting here. He gets that one into right field for a base hit single. So the leadoff man is on for the Bisons here. In the top of the 4th inning, that'll bring up now Chris Bachelor, the sophomore DH. So Dodson now 1 for 2 in this game, adding to his wonderful 2019 campaign. That's his 30th hit on the season. So Bachelor's up now, his first time up. He was able to draw a walk. Started off that at-bat with no balls and 2 strikes, though. Quick throw over to first from Studstill. Dodson able to slide back in time. Studstill working from the stretch again, delivers. Just missed on the outside black there. Dodson had a lot of big schools looking at him out of high school. Recruited by FSU, Notre Dame, Oregon, Georgia, Georgia Tech, among several other schools. Here's a fly ball into right field. Joe Kinker there to make the catch. That's the first out here in the top of the fourth inning. Dodson stays put at first base. Bisons lead 2-0. Trying to build on that here in Swanson Stadium. That'll bring up Cade Sorrells, the senior first baseman. The free-swinging Sorrells. He struck out swinging his first at-bat. Another pickoff attempt there from Studstill. Dodson slides back safely. And you always want to dream big in life, whatever you do. And Cade Sorrells, he has dreams of becoming a Major League Baseball player. I think that's very realistic. At least getting drafted anyways. Takes that one high. He was highly touted coming out of high school as well. The 22nd ranked high school first baseman in the whole country by perfect game. Takes ball 2. So he's ahead 2-0 with Dodson on first. His team up 2-0 here in the top of the fourth inning. And it's still daylight out, but players aren't battling the sun like they were for the first 3 innings here. Strike 1 on the outside. Studstill, working from the stretch. In his last 7 starts, he's only had an ERA over 1.6 once. Just shows how consistent he's been this year. So this is kind of odd to see him here. Falling behind in counts. Behind in this game, down 2-0. We'll see if he can turn it around. But a hitter-friendly count for one of the most dangerous hitters in the A-Sun. Studstill focused on Dodson over there at first. He's tried to pick him off 3 times now. Every time he's been able to slide back safely. Here comes the 3-1. Way outside for ball 4. And now a pair of runners on for Lipscomb. 1 out. And here is Maddox Houghton. This is the man that took Studstill yard back in the 2nd inning. It's a 2-run shot. It's the 2nd home run on the season for Houghton. Excellent sophomore campaign this year. Now with 22 runs batted in, that makes him now 2nd on Lipscomb. Just pulled ahead of Tevin Simonette, his fellow outfielder. Swing and a miss there. No balls and a strike. Studstill now at 56 pitches here in the top of the 4th. Through 3 1/3 of work, he's given up 2 runs, both earned. On that shot out to left field from Houghton. He's also walked a couple guys and struck out 3. Big swing and a miss there. Houghton trying to get 2 home runs in this game. Comes up empty though, and he's looking at an 0-2 count. Sorrells on first, Dodson on 2nd. Top of the 4th inning. Lipscomb in the lead 2-0. And Studstill trying to keep them at bay. Working from the stretch. Checks the runner at 2nd. Kicks and delivers. Check swing there from Houghton, but he's able to hold back. 1-2. Ty Jones on deck, Brian Moore in the hole. You got to imagine we'll see them. Only one out unless the Eagles are able to whip up a double play here. They could really use one now, especially with Studstill's pitch count getting up towards 60. Strike three. The fourth strikeout victim of the game for Studstill. Gets a little bit of revenge on Houghton. And so now 2 down here in the top of the fourth. Still a runner on first and second base in Sorrells and Dodson, respectively. And that'll bring up Ty Jones, the freshman right fielder. Flew out to right his first plate appearance back in the top of the second inning. Studstill doesn't want the damage to get any worse than it is. His team down 2-0. Breaking ball outside and low. 1-0. Ty Jones, a multi-sport athlete in high school. He lettered 4 times in varsity baseball and football. That's right down the pipe for a strike, 1-1. Jones wishes he could have that one back. And he flew out to right field, as I said, back in the second. So we haven't seen him do anything great in this game, but if we did, we might see a little bit of dancing from him because according to the LIPSCOMB website, dancing is his hidden talent. That's outside, 2-1. Studstill now at 62 pitches. He usually throws 100 plus. So as long as he's able to keep this lead where it is for the Bisons and this deficit where it is for the Eagles, I expect that he will be going pretty deep into this game. Checks the runner at second base. That's Dodson. Kicks and delivers from the stretch. Strike 2 to even up the count. Studstill really doing well this year. Kind of a rough start this game with that 2-run home run he gave up to Houghton, but last year he had a 5.81 earned run average in 13 appearances at Eastern Florida State College. All of a sudden he comes to FGCU and he's the ace. Studstill also once a member of the Miami Hurricanes baseball team. Only made 1 appearance, though, for the Canes. Decided to make his way to Eastern Florida State College. Was good enough there to get picked by the Indians in the 22nd round of the MLB draft in 2016. He's got Ty Jones here, 2-2, with Sorrells on first base, Dodson on second. Top of the fourth inning, and his team down 2. Check swing, strike 3. Jones rung up. 5 strikeouts now for Mason Studstill. So we head to the bottom of the fourth inning now. The Eagles down 2-0. When we come back, we're going to see Brait, Hayes, and Gilmore. We'll see you then from Swanson Stadium.
Bottom of the fourth inning, and FGCU's offense trying to wake up here. Down 2-0 to LIPSCOMB. Alex Brate will lead off, followed by Jay Hayes and Cole Gilmore. Chris Katchmar working on a shutout through 3 innings here. Katchmar so far just giving up 1 hit and a walk. He struck out 1. That's the 40th pitch of the game from Katchmar, and it is low for ball 1. So Alex Brate, he popped up to short his first plate appearance. Home plate umpire calls time. That's Randy Olhausen. Ball 2. So that'll be important for FGCU. Get ahead in the counts. Because right now, only 1 hit to their name. They're down 2 runs. There's a strike. Make it 2-1. Alex Brate, definitely one of the better players on this team. 2018 first team all-conference. Led the Eagles last year with a .355 average. Even count now after that foul ball, 2-2. We've got a lot of players on this field today that are ASUN all-freshmen. One of them is Brate. Made that honor in 2017. Fouls that pitch off, so it's still 2-2. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Brate wanted that one back. Nice changeup of speed there from Katchmar. That's his second strikeout of the game through 3 1/3 innings of work. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Jay Hayes. Hayes with a grand slam the last time he stepped foot into Swanson Stadium. That was on Sunday. His team put up 20 runs that day against Towson. He takes strike 1. His last at-bat, he flew out to the catcher in foul territory on the first pitch. So a little bit more patience here will be key. Katchmar from the windup. One and one. I mentioned that grand slam by Hayes in this last game at Swanson Stadium, and that, again, was a piece of history here for FGCU. 2-1 now the count. He and Eusebio both with grand slams in that win over Towson. Talking to Coach Tollett after the game, he was telling me this is the most deepest team, top to bottom, 1 to 9 in the batting lineup. The most hitting talent that may have ever come through this FGCU program. So far, we've seen a different story. Score is 2-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. 3-1 is the count. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt. 3-2. So a full count now here on Jay Hayes. Gilmore on deck and Kinker in the hole. Takes ball 4. And I've been saying it all night. We're working with a very small strike zone here tonight with home plate umpire Randy Olhausen. So it's not a bad strategy to really take today.
So FGCU now with a base runner here in the bottom of inning number 4, trying to get on the board here with 1 out. Here's Cole Gilmore, the junior designated hitter. He's FGCU's only hit of the day. Had a single back in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Going to take time here. That pitch is in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher, Bertolani, but Hayes is going to stay put over there at first base. Hayes more known for his hitting ability, the way he sees the ball, the power he brings to the plate rather than his speed, so that probably was not enough to advance him. 1 ball and no strikes. Kachmar with a pickoff attempt. Came into this game with an ERA of 4.62, but thanks to 3 1/3 innings of work, shutout ball, he's lowered that down to 4.24. That pitch is high. So this is just what Cole Gilmore wants here. He's up in the count, 2-0. He's got a man on first base. His team down 2-0. And that's a high fly ball out to right field. Still carrying, but it looks like it's going to stop in the warning track. The catch is made by Ty Jones. Jay Hayes, though, I stand corrected. Maybe he does have some speed. He's able to tag up to second base. So now the Eagles with a runner in scoring position. 2 outs, though. And the true freshman, Joe Kinker, looking to work a little bit of 2-out magic here. The Northport product has been excellent all season long. Got 24 RBI to his name, looking for 25. Can he drive it in here? A single would probably do it. Pitch is high and inside, 1-0. So an unfortunate ending there for Cole Gilmore. He really did get a lot of that pitch. It carried all the way back to the warning track. Ty Jones, though, out there and right, able to track it down. If he had put just a little more power into it, we'd have a tie ball game here at Swanson Stadium. Just low, 2-0. After this, Keith Stevens on deck. Richie Garcia in the hole. We won't see them, though, unless Kinker is able to reach base here. He's been a staple of consistency across the ASUN and college baseball for freshmen. Can he get it done here? Just outside. The catcher tried to pull it back in, but Bertolani's efforts not enough. 3 balls and no strikes. Ooh. Inside. But that's called a strike. The at-bat continues, 3-1. Kinker taking all the way there. Now in a hitter-friendly count, let's see if he takes a big swing at this one. Swing and a miss. I was right, that was a big swing, but just came up empty. Good pitch to hit, too, practically right down the middle fastball. Full count. Hayes on second base, 2 down. Strike 3 called on the outside. Huge pitch there for Chris Kachmar, and he escapes the inning. Still has a shutout through 4 innings of work. So we head to the top of the 5th. We'll see more Bertolani, then back to the top of the order with Adams. Coming up next, the Bisons leading the Eagles on the road 2-0. Welcome back to Swanson Stadium. The Bisons with a 2-0 lead over the Eagles here. And the top of the 5th. Brian Moore, the shortstop, will lead off for Lipscomb. Mason Studstill still in the game for FGCU. He's thrown 65 pitches so far through 4 innings of work. He's given up 2 runs, both earned on a home run to Houghton. First pitch swinging, it's on the ground. Beautiful play there from Jay Hayes at third base. So bang, bang play there to set down the first hitter. Quick one out. And that's exactly what Studstill needed. His pitch count is getting up there, as I mentioned, now 66 pitches on his name. And we are only in the top of the 5th inning. So here's the catcher, Chaz Bertolani. Takes a strike. Bertolani grounded out to short in his latest plate appearance. That was back in the top of the 3rd. Evens up the count to 1-1 now. Studstill putting it in there for strike 2. This is an odd game for Studstill because usually when he pitches, the team scores runs. They've actually scored 50 runs in the 7 games that he's pitched. So the offense normally does show up for him. A different story here tonight so far. He's inside. 2-2. That's clipped for a foul. So the count will stay put at 2-2. After him, we get back to the top of the order. Haddon Adams on deck and Tevin Simonette in the hole. Swing and a miss for strike 3. 6 strikeouts now for Studstill. He's now got 62 Ks on the season. He is for sure a strikeout pitcher, well known throughout the ASUN. He's a power pitcher. Can strike anybody out at any given time. Here's Haddon Adams back to the top of the order, the second baseman. Has strike 1 on his name. 2 plate appearances so far for Adams. Retired both times back in the top of the 1st. He flew out to right, and then in the 3rd, he grounded out to 2nd. Showing bunt there, pulls it away. Takes a ball. 1-1. 2 balls and a strike now on Adams. He's got 27 hits now on the season and 110 at-bats. His average now dipping below 250. That is a high pitch there. 3 balls and a strike. This is the 41st time that FGCU and LIPSCOMB have played. The Eagles have the all-time matchup record, 22-18. So it is a pretty decent rivalry here. These teams usually go back and forth. That's fouled off. Full count now. Last season, the Bisons actually took 2 of 3 in the regular season series on their home field, Dugan Field. Before that, though, FGCU had beaten them 7 games in a row. So LIPSCOMB trying to make their mark on this rivalry. Strike 3 called. So that'll retire Adams. He falls to 0 for 3. A great inning of work there for Mason Studstill. A quick one at that as well. So it's still 2-0 Bisons over the Eagles. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Swanson Stadium, and when we come back, we'll see Stevens, Garcia, and Eusebio. Welcome back to Swanson Stadium. Bottom of the 5th inning. FGCU still down 2-0 to LIPSCOMB. Keith Stevens is going to lead it off for the Eagles. Chris Katchmar dealing through 4 innings, only given up 1 hit so far on a couple walks. He struck out 3. His pitch count right at 60. Keith Stevens digging in. And the left fielder takes ball 1. It seems as though Katchmar has fallen behind a lot of times starting off these at-bats, but he's been able to work through it. Again, just 1 hit given up all game. That pitch is in the dirt. 2 balls, no strikes. So Katchmar has a shutout through 4. Last March 31st, so not too long ago, from a year ago from this point, he shut out New Jersey Institute of Technology when he was at Palm Beach State College. He's used to this Florida heat, but he's down 3-0 here to Stevens. Stevens took a walk his last plate appearance back in the 2nd. He's 1 ball away from doing the same here. Taking all the way, looks at a strike, so 3-1. Now it's starting to look like nighttime here at Swanson Stadium. It's a gorgeous Friday night. Couldn't ask for better baseball weather. That is a ground ball up the third base line, and it's past a diving Zeke Dodson. Stevens now heading for second base. And he'll reach standing up. So with a friendly hitter count at 3-1, Stevens will score that as a double down the left field line. Took 3 balls, looked at a strike, then got that pitch that he needed. So FGCU now, for the first time in this game, has a runner in scoring position with no outs. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-0 is the Bison's lead over the Eagles. And here's Richie Garcia. Kachmar back to the stretch. Pitch is in the dirt. 1-0. Garcia grounded into a double play, his last plate appearance. That was back in the bottom of the 2nd. See if he can make up for it here and get his team a run. Taken all the way, 2-0. So now FGCU and LIPSCOMB with the same amount of hits, both squads with 2. But LIPSCOMB with the lead here, 2-0 on that 2-run home run by Maddox Houghton. Other than that, both pitchers have been fantastic. So Richie Garcia at the plate. We have Elijah Eusebio on deck and Christian Prophet in the hole, the 8th and 9th hitters. FGCU trying to get some offense going here and get back to the top of that lineup. Takes a pitch low, 3-0. And the FGCU dugout getting vocal here. They know this is an important inning. That's in there for a low inside strike. Perfect pitch. No chance Garcia's going to swing at that one, so it's 3-1. So Stevens started his at-bat off 3-1, was able to make a double out of it. Let's see what Garcia can do here with this hitter-friendly count. Big swing there from Garcia, and he's upset with himself there. He knew he should have had that one, but alas, he fouls it back. Full count, 3-2. Richie Garcia knows how to drive in runs. He had 6 multi-RBI games for him so far up to this point. He led the team with 14 last year, so he's on pace to do that again. Some chin music there for ball 4. Garcia is going to walk, and so now, no outs. We've got a runner on first and second for FGCU here. It's going to bring up Eusebio. And these at-bats are big for Eusebio because I mentioned he started the last 5 games. He's trying to break his way into becoming a fixture into the starting lineup here. And he can make that happen by coming up in these clutch situations. His team down 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Stevens on second, Garcia now on first. Both walked. And now Eusebio showing bunt right away. Pulls it back. Did he pull back in time? Yes. 1-0. Eusebio with 13 runs batted in and just 5 starts, looking to add to that. Count is now 1-1. last game at Swanson Stadium, was able to rock it out of the park for a grand slam. A 3-run shot would give his team the lead here in the bottom of inning number 5. Kachmar working from the stretch. This time, the bunt laid down successfully. Kachmar fields it, throws it over to first in time, but a great job by Eusebio, a perfect bunt, and he advances both runners. So now we have Stevens on third, Garcia on second. A single here would tie the game, potentially. And now the sophomore shortstop, Christian Prophet, in a huge spot here. Oh, looks like we have a pinch hitter coming in. Eric Gonzalez coming in. And Coach Dave Tollett making this move because he's got a better bat right now. I mean, Prophet, a very slick fielder, very good at what he does at that shortstop position, but when you're down 2-0, you need the best hitter at that position up, and that is Eric Gonzalez, the senior. Gonzalez with a .260 average coming into this one, 26 hits. He's got a home run, 15 runs batted into his name so far in 2019. Just a single could make that 17 and tie this game for the Eagles. Takes that outside and low, 1-0. Kachmar was very efficient up to this point. He had just thrown 60 pitches. Now he's at 75. It's been a 15-pitch inning so far for him, and he's only got 1 out here. 2 runners in scoring position. And that's a shot out into left field. Simonette will give chase, but it's gone. What a move by Coach Tollett to pinch hit Eric Gonzalez. He comes up with a huge 3-run shot. And the Eagles now lead 3-2. The whole team there to meet him. Second home run of the game, combined for both teams. We saw Maddox Houghton hit one earlier in this game. Both of them went over that left field wall. 325 out there in left field here in Swanson Stadium. So the Eagles with their first lead of the game here in the bottom of the 5th inning. A lot of momentum now on their side. A huge pinch hit, 3-run shot by Gonzalez. And we're back to the top of the order now. Here is Mark Coffers, the center fielder. 1 ball, no strikes. So Eric Gonzalez now with 18 runs batted in on the season. Big swing and a miss there by Coffers. 1-1. That's the second home run of the season for Gonzalez as well. High and inside. 2 balls and a strike now on Coffers. Kachmar working from the stretch again now that the bases are clear. That's fouled off, 2-2. I was saying we have a lot of guys on this field that are ASUN freshmen, all first team. Well, Coffers, he was the 2017 ASUN All-Tournament Team MVP when he was a freshman. That pitch bounces, but did he swing? The umpire says yes at first base. Luke Hamilton called that strike 3. Bertolani put the tag on Coffers. So Coffers strikes out swinging for the second time tonight. He had also grounded out in the first inning to third base. So a tough night for Coffers. He's now 0 for 3. 2 outs now. The bases are empty. FGCU claims its first lead of the night, now leading 3-2 over LIPSCOMB here at Swanson Stadium. And here's Alex Brate, the catcher. FGCU entered this inning down 2-0. The offense was very slow up to this point. Eagles able to get a couple runners on. And then what a decision by Coach Dave Tillett to pinch hit Eric Gonzalez in for the struggling Christian Prophet at the plate. There's a ground ball over to short. Brian Moore fields it. Throw over to Sorrells is in time to retire Brate. And that is the end of the bottom of the fifth inning. But the damage is done. The Eagles now leading 3-2 here at home over the Bisons. When we come back, we will see Simonette, Dodson, and Bachelor. Top of the sixth inning here at Swanson Stadium, and the FGCU Eagles now in the lead for the first time tonight over LIPSCOMB. 3-2. And so Mason Studstill still has a chance to get a win this game. Tevin Simonette is going to lead off for LIPSCOMB, and Eric Gonzalez, who hit that pinch hit 3-run shot to give the Eagles the lead. He is staying in at shortstop for Christian Prophet. Studstill throwing pitch number 78 there for ball 1. Through 5 innings of work, he's given up 2 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned on that 2-run home run out to left by Maddox Houghton. Falls behind here 2-0 to Simonette. Simonette 0 for 2 in this game. He popped up to first, back in the first, and then he struck out looking in the third. 7 strikeout victims up to this point for Studstill. 2-1. And in the run column, Eagles leading 3-2. In the hit column, Eagles leading 3-2. All the runs scored tonight on home runs. Been an exciting Friday night matchup here between LIPSCOMB and FGCU here at Swanson Stadium. Picturesque baseball night here in Fort Myers. Fouled off. So from 3-1 to 3-2. And according to our YouTube stream, there are 92 of you watching right now. We want to thank you again for joining us tonight. That's fouled back. So the count stays put, full. Simonette, he had some choices coming out of high school. He had offers actually from UCF and Florida Tech, but he chose Lipscomb. Another foul back. So still 3-2. Zeke Dodson is on deck, and Chris Bachelor in the hole. Dangerous hitters coming up here for Lipscomb. High and inside, and that is ball 4. A great at-bat there by Tevin Simonette. Really made Studstill work for that one. 3 walks in the game now for Studstill. Doesn't usually walk a lot of guys, but he's had some control issues tonight. Still in line for the win, though, up to this point. He's gone 5 innings. His team is in the lead, so if he's able to hold them here, he'll get his 5th win of the season. He hasn't lost yet, actually. He's 4-0. And the team's actually only lost one of the games that he's pitched, but it was a no decision. It's his 8th start on the season. In his previous 7 starts, able to crank out 4 wins, so not too shabby for Mason Studstill. Dodson lays down the bunt, but it goes foul. No balls and a strike. Zeke Dodson grounded out to third back in the 1st, but then he singled back in the 4th. So he's 1 for 2 today. Got hit number 30 on the season. Studstill working from the stretch again. Breaking ball outside, 1-1. Pickoff attempt there by Studstill. Simonette didn't even have to slide, though. Here comes the 1-1. Showing bunt, lays it down. Studstill picks it up, throws him out at first. So 1 out, but Dodson gets the job done. He advances Simonette into scoring position here with just 1 out here in the top of inning number 6. Lipscomb now trying to play catch up to FGCU. It had led all game long up to the point of last inning. FGCU, though, with a 3-run explosion off the bat of Eric Gonzalez. A pinch hit 3-run homer. But now the Bisons in position to tie this game. If Bachelor can make something happen, the designated hitter so far 0 for 1 tonight. He has reached base, though. He took a walk back in the 2nd, came around to score on that home run by Houghton. Then he flew out to right back in the 4th. Looking at a 1-0 count now. Cade Sorrell is coming up next. He is obviously a dangerous hitter for this Lipscomb squad. Maddox Houghton after that. I just was talking about how he hit that home run out to left field back in the 2nd. Pitches outside. 2 balls, no strikes. So some control issues here this inning for Studstill, but no damage yet. There is a runner in scoring position. That's a high strike, right at the letters. 2-1. So Studstill over 90 pitches now. You got to wonder now how much longer Coach Tillett will keep him in. His average is usually around 100. So So this could be the last inning of work that we see for Mason Studstill. And from my vantage point, it's tough to see that bullpen, but it looks like they do have somebody warming up out there. It's a right-hander. Grounded over to third. The throw, a wild one. It gets past Eusebio at first base. Simonette safe standing up at third. And Bachelor safe at second. So a bad throw there by Jay Hayes. Puts his team in a bit of a predicament here on that E5. Only one out, two guys in scoring position now. Here's one of, if not the best hitter on this team, Cade Sorrells. It looks like warming up in the bullpen, that's Hunter McGarry, junior right-handed pitcher. And we're going to have a meeting at the mound. Here comes Coach Tillett. Could this be it for Mason Studstill? McGarry continues to warm up in the pen. This could just be to buy some time. Tillett trusts Studstill, as he should. And it doesn't look like this is the end of the line for his ace. Talking some strategy here, perhaps. The infield gathered for a meeting. Home plate umpire Randy Olhausen walking up. Studstill will stay in the game. Tillett walking back to the dugout without making a pitching change, as McGarry continues to warm up in the bullpen for the Eagles. From where I can see, he appears to be the only one warming up. Big swing and a miss there for Sorrells. 0-1. Sorrells has reached base this game. He walked back in the fourth inning. Struck out swinging, though, back in the second. He is one of 7 strikeout victims tonight for Studstill. Fouls that one off, so Studstill's got him 0-2. He could really use another strikeout here. There's no double play opportunity, unless one of those base runners makes a bad mistake. And only one out here in the top of inning number 6. Check swing from Sorrells, but he holds up. 1-2. Bachelor on second, Simonette on third, 1 out here in the top of the 6th, and FGCU hanging on to a 3-2 lead here at Swanson Stadium, trying to give their fans a Friday night win and get their 20th win of the season. 19-9 is their record right now, 1-2 in A-Sun play. The first A-Sun series at home this season for the Eagles. They have 21 conference games coming up after this. And we'll really see what FGCU baseball is made of. Sorrells digs back in. He's looking at a 2-2 count. Studstill is not going to throw here as the home plate umpire calls time. Studstill was taking a lot of time there. Only one error up to this point in the game was Jay Hayes, and it was a big one. That's why these two runners are in scoring position here. That is grounded to third. Hayes, a much better throw that time, but Lipscomb is able to score the run. So the game is now tied. Simonet comes home. We're knotted up at 3 here in the top of the 6th. Great baseball game so far. 2 outs. Bachelor stayed put at second base. And Maddox Houghton is about to dig in. Back in the second inning, hit a shot out to left field over Keith Stevens as he gave chase out there in left field. Went over the wall, though, for a 2-run shot. Put his team up for the majority of this game. FGCU, though, able to take the lead on a 3-run home run. Pinch hit home run by Eric Gonzalez. And here we are now tied at 3. Sorrell is able to get that ground out RBI to bring home Simonet. That's inside. Studstill only has 2 earned runs to his name. 3 runs overall on this game, though. The most recent one was not earned because of that error from Hayes over there at third base. Here comes the 100th pitch of the game from Studstill, and it's grounded right back to him. Throw over to Eusebio in time, and that'll retire the side. But Lipscomb able to tie the game up on a ground out RBI. We head to the bottom of the 6th, knotted up at 3 here at Swanson Stadium, and when we come back, we will see Hayes, Gilmore, and Kinker. Let's get the bottom of the 6th inning started. We're tied at 3 here at Swanson Stadium between the Florida Gulf Coast University Eagles and the Lipscomb Bisons. Lipscomb, a private college out in Nashville, Tennessee, the Music City, making a trip down to Southwest Florida for the weekend. Jay Hayes, the senior, will lead off. Third baseman had a crucial error that led to an unearned run in the last half inning. He takes strike 1. Hayes 0 for 1 with a walk in this game. Took a walk his latest plate appearance. That was back in the 4th inning. Olhausen, the home plate umpire, calls time. We've seen him take a lot of timeouts here for a home plate umpire. Clipped foul over to his dugout. No balls and 2 strikes now on Jay Hayes. Jay Hayes with that walk. He's now reached base safely in 17 straight games. Takes a pitch in the dirt, 1-2. Hayes also now with 71 total bases. That leads the team. Takes another pitch in the dirt, 2-2. Chris Katchmar still in the game for Lipscomb. He's worked 5 innings, given up 3 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned, 3 walks. He struck out 4, gave up a home run to Eric Gonzalez last inning. He's faced 20 batters, fouled off again. Now he's hovering around 90 pitches, but he's also a workhorse for his team, just as Mason Studd still is for FGCU. Katchmar led his team in innings pitched with 65 last year. He's trying to make it to 6 tonight. That's grounded up the third base line, but foul. Got past a diving Zeke Dodson. The Eagles could have used that. The offense up to this point has been all zeros on the scoreboard besides the last inning. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Jay Hayes goes down swinging. 5th strikeout victim of the night for Katchmar. So that'll bring up Cole Gilmore, the designated hitter. He's 1 for 2 tonight. Got FGCU's first hit of the game back in the 2nd, then flew out to right. That was in the 4th. "90 pitches now for Katchmar. Make it 91. It's in for a ball. FGCU's offense has been able to get ahead in the count many times tonight. Still only 3 hits and 3 runs to show for it. Time called. Bases are empty here. 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. We're tied at 3 between FGCU and Lipscomb. That's low. 2-0. There's a strike now on this count. 2-1. That's fouled off. So from 2-0, 2-2. Here at Swanson Stadium, the Eagles hold a 12-7 advantage in the all-time record against their fellow ASUN competition in Lipscomb. But it's behind 10-9. 10-9 in Lipscomb. There's another strikeout victim. 2 batters in a row set down on strikes now by Chris Katchmar. 2 down, nobody on base, and here comes Joe Kinker. The freshman right fielder tonight, 0 for 2. He flew out to left back in the 2nd. Struck out looking in the 4th. Another timeout called by Randy Olhausen. That pitch is in the dirt, 1-0. If Kinker is able to reach, we have Keith Stevens coming up next, and in the hole, Richie Garcia. There's a strike to even the count up at 1-1. I mentioned that Jay Hayes has now reached base 17 straight games, but Kinker leads the team with 24 games in a row that he's reached base, but he's 0 for 2 so far today, so that is being threatened at this point. Takes a strike to make it 1-2, and now Kachmar, we'll see if he could strike out the side here. Swing and a miss. Kachmar fans the side. The Eagles go down 1-2-3. So we are still tied at 3 as we enter the top of the 7th inning. When we come back, Jones, Moore, and Bertolani coming up for the Bisons. We've got a tie ball game here in the top of inning number 7. 3-3 is our score at Swanson Stadium between FGCU and LIPSCOMB. Mason Studstill still in the game for the Eagles, but it looks like we have a new face coming up to the plate here. There's a pinch hitter. Josh Martinez, junior outfielder from Caugus, Puerto Rico. And he takes strike 1. So Martinez pinch hitting for Ty Jones. Takes strike 2. Studstill at 102 pitches now. About to throw 103. He's worked through 6 innings, given up 3 runs, but just 2 of them earned. Martinez calling timeout here. That one's fouled off, so Martinez able to stay alive. Let's take a look at some of the scores around the ASUN Conference tonight. We're in the bottom of the 7th for Jacksonville and North Florida. Jacksonville with a 2-1 lead. Bottom of the 8th, UNC Wilmington leading Kennesaw State 5-2. NJIT tied at 3 with Stetson in the bottom of the 7th inning. And in the top of the 4th, it's a barn burner between Liberty and Northern Alabama. Liberty 12, Northern Alabama 1. It's our scores around the ASUN tonight. Here's a 1-2 count on Martinez. Just misses outside. 2-2. Great patience by Martinez, able to work back from 0-2 to even up the count. Studstill looking for his 8th strikeout of the game. Will he get it here? Not this time. That's fouled off over into the bullpen. And there is a right-handed pitcher warming up in the bullpen for FGCU. Hunter McGarry. junior, continues to throw in the pen for FGCU. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Stud still got Martinez on a pitch in the dirt. So 1 down here in the top of the 7th inning. "64 strikeouts on the season now for Stud still. And that's in just 48 1/3 innings of work. He is a strikeout pitcher. Here comes Moore, and first pitch swinging for Moore. That's rocked out to left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. He'll stay put at first base, though. So Brian Moore, who had been 0 for 2, went down looking in the second and grounded out to third in the 5th. He gets a single here in the top of the 7th. So we'll see if that gives Lipscomb some life here to try and pull ahead of FGCU here. Stud still is going to go back to the stretch. He's now at 108 pitches. So we'll keep a tab on that. Here's Chaz Bertolani, the catcher, and another first pitch swinger here. That's grounded to third. Double play opportunity, but no. Hayes able to get it over to second. Oh, that's it for the inning. All right, so that does it for the top of the 7th. We're tied at 3. The Eagles coming back to try to take the lead here in the bottom of the 7th. But we'll stretch a little bit. And then when we come back, we'll see Keith Stevens, Richie Garcia, and Elijah Eusebio. Welcome back to Swanson Stadium. We're tied at 3 here after a nice little 7th inning stretch. We are in the bottom of the 7th inning. FGCU coming up to bat. We'll see Keith Stevens, Richie Garcia, and Elijah Eusebio. We had a pinch hitter in for Lipscomb, Josh Martinez, the junior outfielder. He's going to take over for Ty Jones out there in right field. Pitch is outside, and so Kachmar still in this game for Lipscomb. It has been a pitcher's duel up to this point. Stevens grounds it to third. Dodson with the throw in time over to first base. That's a quick out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th. So Stevens, who had doubled and then came around to score on that 3-run home run by Eric Gonzalez, retired there. And that'll bring up Richie Garcia, the second baseman. He's 0 for 1 today, but did reach base and score the last plate appearance. He walked in the fifth, and then back in the second, he grounded into a double play. That pitch is in the dirt, and it is 1-0. So Kachmar now over 100 pitches. This is your classic Friday night college baseball. Two starters who know a thing or two about going deep into games. Another pitch in the dirt. Breaking ball, 2-0. Kachmar only given up 3 hits in 6 1/3 innings of work. 3 runs, all of them earned. 7 strikeouts. He's faced 24 batters. And here comes pitch number 104. That's high. 3-0. FGCU coming into this game with one of the best offenses in the league so far this season. The green and blue coming into this one, leading the ASUN in batting average, hits, runs, and scoring. The offense has been a little bit quieter tonight, though, than what we're used to seeing. Last time here, they put up 20 against Towson. Much better pitching performance this time, though, by Chris Kachmar and the LIPSCOMB Bisons. Here's the 3-1. Popped up. Making its way into right field, the second baseman, Haddon Adams, calls for it and makes the catch. 2 up and 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning for FGCU. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Elijah Eusebio. He's 0 for 1 today, flew out to right back in the 3rd. Put down a sac bunt back in the 5th. That advanced the 2 runners who were on base into scoring position. Garcia and Kinker. Then they came around to score on that pinch hit home run by Eric Gonzalez. Breaking ball is in there for a strike. 0-1. Home plate umpire calling time once again. I think I probably can count more times than I have fingers on my right hand. Kachmar wanted to get back to work right away, and he deals strike 2. That pitch bounces to the catcher, Bertolani. 1-2. If Eusebio is able to reach base, coming up after him would be Eric Gonzalez. And we get back to the top of this FGCU lineup. Mark Coffers in the hole. Big swing and a miss for strike 3. Thought about making the run up to first base, but that's it. So a 1-2-3 inning. Kachmar continues to throw a wonderful game here through 7 innings. We go to the top of the 8th, and we're still tied at 3. Coming up next for LIPSCOMB, we're back to the top of the order. Adams, Simonet, and Dodson. Top of the 8th inning. We are tied 3-3 between FGCU and LIPSCOMB here at Swanson Stadium. And we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Eagles. Hunter McGarry, making his 14th appearance on the year, coming into this one with a 2-1 record, an earned run average of 3.32. He's made 4 saves on this season. He's worked 21 and 2/3 innings, given up 8 runs, all of them earned. He struck out 19. And we are back to the top of the Bison's order. Haddon Adams leading off this one, the junior second baseman, having himself a tough game. 0 for 3. He flew out to right in the first, grounded out to second in the third, and then he struck out looking in the fifth. And so that's the end of the day for FGCU's Mason Studstill. He went 7 innings in this game, gave up 3 runs, but only 2 of them earned. McGarry always works from the stretch. Deals his first pitch of the night high for ball 1. Studstill only giving up 3 hits in this game. Struck out 8 batters, faced 27 of them. That's high and inside. 2 balls, no strikes. And so Studstill will not be picking up a win tonight. He's 4-0 on the season. So no matter what happens from here, he'll take the no decision. Still a quality start, though, for the FGCU ace. Let's see what McGarry can do. Strike 1. For the first time tonight, Haddon Adams getting ahead in the count. Studstill was very good about getting this guy in an 0-2 hole pretty much every time he saw him in those 3 at-bats. Can Adams turn his night around here? Shows bunt, pulls it away. Counted as a ball, 3-1. Tevin Simonet, the left fielder, and Zeke Dodson, the third baseman, due up next for Lipscomb. That's in there for a strike. So a full count now, 3-2. The bases are empty. We're knotted up at 3 here in the top of the 8th. This game has moved right along. We started at 6:30. It's only 8:48. So while we're not going to make happy hour, it's still a very quick game. And it looks like he just hit him with a pitch. So 3-2, hits the batter, does McGarry. So Haddon Adams will take first base. First time he's reached tonight. And the leadoff man on for the Bisons. That'll bring up Tevin Simonet. Talking a little strategy here with the third base coach, is Simonet. A little bit about Hunter McGarry. He's from Bradenton, so not too far away from here. Just about a 2-hour drive from here. Bunt laid down. McGarry fields it. Throw over to Eusebio at first in time to retire Simonet, but he gets the job done. He advances his man Adams into scoring position. So 1 down, and now Lipscomb is threatening to take the run here late in the game. Zeke Dodson coming up. He's 1 for 2 in this game. He himself was the man who laid down a sac bunt back in the top of the 6th. Hit a single back in the 4th into right field, and then he grounded out to the third baseman. That was in the 1st inning. Hunter McGarry gets ahead in the count there. No balls and a strike as Dodson swings right through that one. So Ty Jones, who's no longer in this game because Josh Martinez took over for him, his hidden talent was dancing. Zeke Dodson, according to LIPSCOMB, his hidden talent is singing. The 1-1, a big hack at that one, tapped foul. So McGarry this time ahead of his batter. No balls, 2 strikes. Something that the starter in this game, Mason Studstill, did a wonderful job of. He was ahead of the hitters all night. And that's why he went 7 innings and only gave up 2 earned runs. Big swing and a miss for strike 3. McGarry gets him on 3 pitches. So down goes Zeke Dodson. That's a huge strikeout for FGCU. 2 outs now. Adams on second base. And here comes Sorrells. Sorrells, I mentioned earlier in this broadcast, his dream is to become a Major League Baseball player. FGCU knows a thing or two about sending guys to the majors. Chris Sale of the Boston Red Sox, World Series champion and arguably the best in the biz right now. Jacob Barnes of the Milwaukee Brewers. Jake Knoll with the Washington Nationals. He had a big walk-off play this week. Did he go? Yes, says first base umpire Luke Hamilton. No balls and a strike on Chris Bachelor, the DH. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Walked, came around to score on that Maddox Houghton home run back in inning number 2. He flew out to right field in the top of the 4th, and he reached on an error back in the 6th. That error by Jay Hayes that ultimately led to this game being tied. Bachelor awaits the 0-1. Takes it low and inside. 4-1. Even count now. McGarry is a transfer over from State College of Florida Manatee. Pitched 24 games there last year as a sophomore. Got 6 saves in 34 and a third innings of work. Had a 5.2 far earned run average, though, while striking out 32. Fouled over to the FGCU dugout. 1-2. McGarry already has a strikeout in this inning. Struck out Zeke Dodson, and he could really use this one here with Bachelor. A 12-pitch inning so far for Hunter McGarry. His first inning of work, taking over for Mason Studstill in the top of the 8th. Checks Adams at second. Here's a fly ball out to center field. Nothing Mark Coffers can't handle, though, and that'll do it for the top of the 8th. So we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and we're still tied at 3, neck and neck here between FGCU and LIPSCOMB at Swanson Stadium. When we come back, we're going to see Eric Gonzalez, Mark Coffers, and Alex Brake for FGCU. Bottom of the 8th inning, and we've got a great baseball game happening here at Swanson Stadium. 3-3 between FGCU and LIPSCOMB. And we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Bisons, Tyler Guilfoyle, the true freshman. He takes over for Chris Katchmar. Katchmar went 7 innings, gave up 3 runs, all of them earned on 3 hits. He walked 3 men, struck out 8, faced 26 batters, and threw 110 pitches. An excellent start for Katchmar, and he's got his team in a great position here to steal a very important conference win. The first conference action of the season here for FGCU at home. So leading off, Eric Gonzalez, the shortstop. He takes strike 1. Gonzalez came up huge as a pinch hitter in his last plate appearance. He hit a 3-run home run that at the time gave FGCU a 3-2 lead. Looks at strike 2. He pinch hit for Christian Profit in that number 9 spot of this FGCU batting lineup. Pops this one up into center field. Houghton there to make the catch. So only 3 pitches needed for Guilfoyle to retire Gonzalez. Base is empty, and here comes Mark Coffers, the junior center fielder. Coffers having a tough day. His last 2 plate appearances, he struck out swinging back in the bottom of the 5th and the 3rd. He grounded out to 3rd back in the 1st. So we'll see if he can turn around his night. That is low and outside for ball 1. So Tyler Guilfoyle, the true freshman right-hander from Lexington, Kentucky. And did that hit Coffers? I don't believe so. Came close, though. Nowhere near the strike zone. That's for sure. So 2-0. Tyler Guilfoyle, though, he had some hype about him coming out of high school, ranked as the 13th best right-hander and the 35th best prospect in the state of Kentucky by perfect game. 3-0. He can also hit, too. He batted .312 with 5 extra base hits. 8 runs batted in high school last season. That was at Lafayette High School. Koffer's taking all the way that time. It's 3-1. Big swing and a miss. And for a third straight at bat, Mark Koffers goes down swinging. I apologize. I just confused the PA announcer too. So that's 3-2. The count was 3-1. Now it's 3-2. It's been 5 years since I last called a game. There's strike 3. All right, so now there's 2 down. Bases are empty. And here is Alex Brait. So Koffer's now 0 for 4, and now I'm right in saying that in his last 3 plate appearances, he has struck out swinging. So here's Brait. He's 0 for 3 tonight as well. Popped up to the shortstop back in the first. He struck out swinging in the 4th, and then he grounded out to short back in the 5th. Two balls, no strikes now on Brait. It's getting late in this game. We are in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's been neck and neck all game. The only time runs have ever crossed the plate were in the 2nd inning for LIPSCOMB on a 2-run home run by Maddox Houghton, and then back in the 6th inning on that pinch hit home run by Eric Gonzalez. And in the last inning, LIPSCOMB getting a run. That's grounded to second, and it is past a diving Haddon Adams into right field. So Alex Brait gets his first hit of the night. He's now 1 for 4. 44th hit on the season for Brait. And so with 2 outs, Eagles showing a little bit of life here. That'll bring up Jay Hayes, the third baseman. Hayes 0 for 2 today. It's a pop-up foul to the catcher back in the first. He walked in the 4th. Struck out swinging in the 6th. First pitch swinging for Hayes, and he watches this one carry over the wall. A 2-run home run for Jay Hayes, and the Eagles lead 5-3. A huge celebration from his teammates as Jay Hayes, with bottom of the 8th inning heroics. That's Jay Hayes' 7th home run of the season. Now has 33 runs batted in, and enough to give his team a late lead here at Swanson Stadium. Gilmore taking ball 1. That one catches the strike zone, 1-1. Cole Gilmore, the DH, he singled back in the 2nd. He flew out to right field in the 4th, and he struck out swinging in the 6th. That came close to being extra bases. Alas, it's a foul, so 1-2. Another foul ball up the first base line. I was talking to Jay Hayes last Sunday, right after his team had beaten Towson soundly. He says his mom comes to every single game. It doesn't matter where it is in the state of Florida. She is there. So she was able to witness those heroics tonight. This is a pop-up to the shortstop. Brian Moore makes the catch. And that is it for the bottom of the eighth. But FGCU walks out on top for this inning now. 5-3 is the score in favor of the Eagles as we head to the top of the ninth. The last chance for romance for Lipscomb. Cade Sorrells, Maddox Houghton, and Josh Martinez coming up. All right, it's the top of the ninth inning. FGCU will try to close down the win here. They lead 5-3 over Lipscomb at Swanson Stadium on a gorgeous Friday night. Some late heroics here from Jay Hayes. He hit a two-run shot in the last half inning to put his team up by 2 runs. And now the Eagles will try to close it out here. Hunter McGarry is going to stay in the game for FGCU to try to nail down this save. We have some defensive changes here. I'll update that for you in just a moment. But this is Cade Sorrells, the first baseman, leading off for the Bisons. He takes strike 1. Also due up this inning, Maddox Houghton and Josh Martinez. So Keith Stevens and Elijah Eusebio have come out of left field and first base respectively. New second baseman as well. Here comes the 1-1. Strike 2. So now at first we have the freshman Corey Clement. At second it looks like we have Hunter Fornari. He takes over for Richie Garcia. 1-2 is low and outside for an even count now, 2-2. Richie Garcia moved from second base to third, in for Jay Hayes. So Hayes, after hitting that go-ahead home run, now out of this game. 3-2 now the count. So we have Garcia moving over to third. We have Hunter Fornari now at second base. Jay Hayes actually moved to right field. Jalen Townsend went to left field in for Keith Stevens. And then Corey Clement now at first base in for Eusebio. So those are the defensive updates for you. And Sorrells is able to reach base on a walk. So a big leadoff walk here for Lipscomb. Maddox Houghton digs in, looking to recapture that magic he had back in the top of the second when he hit a 2-run home run. If he did that again, it would tie the game. McGarry with the pitch. First pitch swinging, and it's driven out into right field for a base hit. Lipscomb threatening. And Houghton now 2 for 4 in this game. Here comes Josh Martinez. Martinez, a pinch hitter for Ty Jones back in the 7th. He struck out swinging, though. Brian Moore due up after this. Chaz Bertolani in the hole. There's no outs. Couple of runners on. Houghton on first. Sorrells on second. Big spot here for Martinez. He's showing bunt. Lays it down. The catcher Bertolani's going to pick it up and throw it in time to first. But an excellent bunt there by Martinez. He's able to advance Sorrells to third and Houghton to second. So now 2 runners in scoring position here in the top of the 9th inning. Down 2 runs, and Brian Moore with a single could tie this baseball game. Jay Hayes giving his team some insurance here in the top of the 9th. He's moved out to the outfield. Coach Tillett now coming out to talk to his team. From my perspective, I don't see anybody warming up for FGCU. So it looks like a little bit of strategy discussion happening here in the top of the 9th inning. A big stretch of ASUN games coming up for FGCU here. So we have a series for this weekend against Lipscomb right here in Swanson Stadium. That'll go all the way through Sunday. Tomorrow's game, the first pitch is at 2. On Sunday, the first pitch is at 1 o'clock for that matinee. Then on Tuesday, the Eagles will head to Alex Rodriguez Park at Mark Light Field in Coral Gables, Florida to take on the U. And then the next day, teams will come back here to Swanson Stadium. Hurricanes will take on the Eagles here in Fort Myers. Miami not in the ASUN. But then after that, Friday, April 12th through the 14th, the 3-game ASUN series against Kennesaw State on the road. Stillwell Baseball Stadium. It looks like we're ready to get back to playing here in the top of the 9th. Big swing and a miss by Moore. 0-1, and Hunter McGarry in a big spot here. His team up 5-3. Looking to nail down this save. McGarry's got 4 saves on this season. Looking for 5. Steps off the mound. Going to take his time here. He was checking the runner at second base, Houghton. Also dealing with Sorrells on third. Again, steps off. McGarry trying to keep his composure here in a huge spot. That pitch is low. Evens the count up to 1-1. So we started at 6:30. In the last few innings, the game has really slowed down here. It always tends to when you have pitching changes and little strategy talks like there have been out on the mound. Here comes the 1-1. Big swing and a miss. Another one. So both strikes coming on empty swings from Moore. And Hunter McGarry really could use a strikeout here. He's got 1 so far in this game. He's facing a struggling Brian Moore. In fact, with runners in scoring position, Moore hits 167. Strike 3 called inside. Hunter McGarry with a huge punch out in the top of the 9th inning. 2 outs. And the Eagles need just 1 more to take home a 5-3 win here tonight and send the fans home happy at Swanson Stadium. Houghton on second, Sorrells on third. And the catcher, Bertolani, now digging in. A base hit here could tie the game. An out would end it. Everybody taking their time here. I think Bertolani called the timeout. Then McGarry stepped off the mound. Then the home plate umpire called the timeout. Strike 1 from McGarry. He's now thrown 26 pitches in an inning and 2/3 of work. He's given up 1 hit. He's walked a batter. He's struck out 2. No runs yet have crossed the plate on him. That's fouled off. No balls, 2 strikes. And Bertolani now must go into desperation mode. Just has to make contact here. Two runners on, 2 outs. FGCU 5, LIPSCOMB 3. Can McGarry nail him down? That is popped over to the shortstop, who makes the catch. Eric Gonzalez puts it away for FGCU, and the Eagles win their first conference home game of the season. 5-3 the final score over the LIPSCOMB Bisons. FGCU improving its record to 20-9 overall. 2-2 now in the ASUN. Lipscomb drops to 15-13, now 3-4 in the ASUN. FGCU now celebrating. They have plenty of reasons to celebrate. Before this, they had just lost 15-4 at USF, but prior to that had gone on a 5-game winning streak. So now they have won 6 of their last 7 games. They are as hot as they could be, and that is humongous for this time of year, especially as we start conference play. So the fans at Swanson Stadium will go home happy. Quick recap of this game for you. Lipscomb scored 2 runs in the second on a 2-run home run by Maddox Houghton. Then in the 5th inning, a big pinch hit 3-run shot from Eric Gonzalez, the shortstop. In the 6th, Lipscomb scoring on a ground out that scored the man from third who had reached that point on an error, so it was an unearned run to Mason Studstill. And then in the 8th, it was Jay Hayes with the heroics, a 2-run home run. He watched it carry over the wall, and that ultimately led to his team's win. So I believe then Hunter McGarry would get the win. Yes. So he gets the win. Guilcoyle gets the loss. So for McGarry, he is now 3-1 is his record. And let's take a look at what's next for the Eagles after this big 5-3 win. Again, the first home ASUN conference win of the season for the Eagles. They take on Lipscomb again tomorrow at 2 o'clock right here at Swanson Stadium. And then again, the Sunday matinee is at 1. 92 of you tuned in tonight, and it appears you're still watching. We want to thank every single one of you for taking time out of your night to watch us. Again, I'm Joe Petrello. It was a pleasure to be here, and hopefully I passed the audition. So until next time, from Swanson Stadium, the final score, Eagles 5, Lipscomb 3.